Have you ever wondered, in the quietest hours of the night, whether the woman beside you truly loves you? Not the kind of love spoken through sweet texts, not the kind that blooms when everything is going well, but the kind of love that stays when you have nothing left to give. True love doesn't need to be flashy. It's as quiet as the warmth of a kitchen in winter, like a woman named Anna who brought hot chicken soup every night to the garage where Jack sat silently with the weight of his past as a Marine. She didn't ask questions, she didn't complain, she just let him know, you're not alone. If you've ever wondered what true love looks like, don't look for it in grand gestures. Let me show you 7 quiet but powerful signs that a woman only gives to the man she truly loves. 1. She pushes you to grow, not by nagging. True love is not a place to hide from life, it's a mirror, one that sometimes reflects the parts we'd rather not see, but must face to grow. Marcus was the kind of man who clocked in and out on time, living as if life were just a loop of ordinary days. He talked a lot about opening his own garage, but whenever Tanya asked, he had an excuse. It's not the right time. The economy's bad. Who's to say I'd succeed? Tanya didn't argue. She didn't scold him for letting his dream collect dust. Instead, on a quiet Friday evening after dinner, she laid a printed business plan on the kitchen table. No complaints, just a short sentence. I've done my part. Now it's your turn. Licensing, budget, legal forms, all carefully researched. It wasn't pressure. It was a gentle nudge from someone who believed he could do more than he thought. A woman who truly loves you won't let you bury your potential. She won't try to change you. She'll simply refuse to watch you abandon yourself. Because for her, love isn't just about showing up. It's about walking with you toward the strongest version of yourself, even when that path is rough and uncertain. 2. She sacrifices but never brings it up. Leah never complained, not about the long overnight shifts at the hospital, not about the rushed dinners in the staff lounge, not even about the mornings when she returned home before the sun came up. She quietly took extra shifts, handled more patients, and made sure Brian could keep studying computer engineering at Columbia. She never said, "I've given up so much for you." She never reminded him of the parties she skipped or the summer trip they cancelled because tuition went up. Because true love doesn't tally up sacrifices to demand fairness later. It's a daily choice to stay, to support, without needing anyone to notice or applaud. One night, when Brian slumped over his textbooks, exhausted and anxious, Leah sat beside him, slipped a warm mug of tea into his hands, and smiled. "I know you're going to make it." No grand speeches, no medals. Her sacrifices were quiet, but rooted deep like the strongest trees. That kind of love isn't compromise, it's selfless devotion. The kind that makes a man realize he's being loved not for what he's achieved, but for who he is, even as he's still trying to become himself. 3. She respects your need for silence. Tom wasn't a talkative man. A writer living in the Oregon mountains, he was used to long, quiet winters, mornings filled with the clack of a keyboard and the whisper of wind through pine trees. Some stretches he'd go days without a single call or text, lost in his own world where inspiration and solitude lived side by side. Melissa, the woman he loved, never saw that silence as a threat. She understood that a deep man needs space to return to himself. She didn't knock on his door with a flood of texts. She didn't leave passive-aggressive messages like, "Are you abandoning me?" or "Too busy to send a single line." Instead, she left one message only. "When you're done writing, come home. I'm still here." True love isn't clingy. It's trust, freely given. The kind that stays calm even when you fall silent, that doesn't withdraw affection just because it isn't constantly affirmed. Melissa knew that loving a man means loving even the quiet places in him. Because the people who can sit with your silence, who can wait without fear, without demand, are the ones truly walking with your soul, not just when you speak, but even when you need the silence to heal. 4. She stays when you have nothing left to give. December in Detroit is bitter cold. Outside, the snow falls thick, as if trying to erase every trace of what came before. Inside a small third-floor apartment, Jordan sits silently on a worn-out couch, eyes empty. He's lost his job, lost his direction, lost the last fragments of confidence that once defined him. He doesn't talk much anymore. No more plans, no shaving, no cleaning. The dreams he once had now feel like faded photographs in his mind. The friends who used to raise a glass with him every weekend have gone quiet on the phone. But Natalie is still there. She doesn't try to fix him, doesn't demand he snap out of it. She just quietly cooks dinner, does the dirty laundry, and sometimes sits beside him, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "We'll get through this. You don't have to do it alone." She doesn't need him to be strong to love him. She doesn't love him for his achievements or image, but for the vulnerable part of him, the one even he is afraid to face. True love doesn't require you to always be the pillar, the problem solver. It is a gentle hand helping you rise, a look that says, "I'm here, not because you've succeeded, but because I choose you, even in your ruin." 5. She doesn't try to fix you, she accepts you. Leo was far from perfect. He was so messy that once he left a pan on the stove, setting off the fire alarm in the middle of the night. He always carried 3 keys, but none of them ever seemed to fit the right door. And whenever he got stressed, he had a habit of snapping, then quietly regretting it later. Julia knew all of this. From the first week they moved into their little hillside apartment in San Francisco, she had seen it all. But she never tried to fix him. One Monday morning, when she realized Leo had once again forgotten his important documents, she didn't get angry. She simply taped a note next to his desk. "Remember the blue folder, from your loving but forgetful woman." She didn't see him as a project in need of renovation. She saw him as a human being, messy, imperfect, but real. Her love wasn't a mission to reshape him into her ideal. It was patience. It was walking beside him long enough for him to want to grow, not out of pressure, but because being loved so completely made him believe he could. Julia stayed not because Leo always got it right, but because in all his chaos and flaws, he was the one who made her feel at peace. And real love is exactly that. Closing. Love is in the smallest things. Nora Roberts once wrote, "True love doesn't arrive like a storm. It comes like morning light, gentle, steady, and undeniable." If you're looking for love in sweet words or extravagant gifts, you might be missing it. Because real love lives in the way she looks at you when you have nothing left. It's in the warm cup of tea she makes when you're sick, in the embrace she gives you when your world is falling apart. That kind of love, quiet but unwavering, is rare. And once you've found it, don't let it go. If this video made you pause and reflect, that's exactly why it was created. Share your thoughts, because what you say might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you found value in these gentle truths, don't forget to like and subscribe.